how to drive traffic to Shopify store. So in this video, I want to guide you with 5 ways that you can start generating traffic to your Shopify store. Because as you know, traffic is very important to your Shopify store. Without visitors, you can't make sales. And so that's why I want to share with you 5 easy things that you can do to start generating traffic without having to spend a lot of money. So let's start. So one of the first ways that you'll want to start generating traffic to your Shopify store, right, is by creating organic social media content, right? So organic content is one of the best ways to drive traffic to your store, right? And so platforms that you'll want to start creating content on is of course TikTok, Instagram Reels, right? YouTube Shorts maybe, but I would focus more on YouTube long form, right? So you could choose one or two, right, platforms. If TikTok, Instagram Reels make sense for you, right, go with that, right? And then maybe in the long term, once you start generating income, maybe you can start going with YouTube long form as well, right? And so you just want to start generating that content to have traffic flowing to your Shopify store, right? So what type of content can you start creating? Well, you want to start creating like product demonstrations, right? So this is you using the product, right? Or how you expect people to use your product as well, right? You could do before and after videos, right? So maybe you're selling a beauty cream or something, right? You could show, before your skin and then like after your skin, how it changed when you start to use the beauty cream, right? Product benefits, right? Share 5 ways, like, 5 benefits of using that beauty cream, right? Etc. Behind the scenes content. This could be like shipping, right? You packaging your orders, right? Or you generating content to share online, right? It's a little bit meta there, right? You can answer frequently asked questions. So not only from your audience, of course that would be really good as well when you're answering like comments on TikTok, let's say, of audience making videos of those comments, but also answering questions that people might have about the product that you're selling. From, let's say, you find people like have questions on Reddit and on Google, right? You could go ahead and make videos of that type of content, right? Because if one person is asking that question, probably a few more have that question, but they maybe just don't feel comfortable asking it, right? Tips, right? Post consistently, right? So this is like, if you're gonna post, let's say at the start, TikTok, let's say you're posting once a week, then try to focus on once a week, right? If you could post once a day, right? Post once a day, right? As long as you keep showing up, because that's how it will start to compound, right? All those views, right? And all those views are gonna one day lead to traffic, right, to your Shopify store, right? Focus on solving problems, right? Add a call to action in every post, very important. So how does this look like, right? You could be like, at the end, like at the last 30 seconds, right, of the video, you could be like, if you want to get this cream, go click on the link in my bio, right, to learn more, or to buy the product, right? Or if you have the Shopify app, the TikTok app installed to your Shopify store, right, you can tell them, hey, if you want to get this right now, right, click the buy button right there, right, and they'll be able to click the buy button, right? So you want to always tell the viewer what to do next, right? And repurpose your content across platforms is probably one of the easiest content hacks. You don't have to create unique content for TikTok and then like Instagram Reels, something else, right? Just create it once. Like a tool that you can use is CapCut, right? Record on CapCut, right? And then upload on Reels and TikTok and Shorts, right? And there you go. You have content for every platform without having to record again and again. So number 2, we have our favorite one, SEO, search engine optimization, right? So what is SEO? Pretty much simple. It helps customers find your store through Google, right? And so inside your Shopify store, right, you'll want to optimize your product titles, right? So an example here, right? Here's one example of a product, right? You'll want to be like men's classic stainless steel watch, right? So if you're selling like a pink dress, you don't want to write pink dress only. You want to write, woman's pink dress, right? And maybe like, a little bit more details, right? Or like if you're selling a black t-shirt, right, you don't want to just write a black t-shirt, you want to write like men's black you know cotton t-shirt, right? A little bit much more details to provide Google a little bit more information and context on the product you're selling, so that it knows when to show the product when somebody is searching to buy that product on Google, right? You want to add product descriptions, right? So you could go ahead and use something like a sidekick, right, to help you with this, right? Enter the title, right, and describe what you want, and it will create the description for you. The next thing you want to do is add collections. So this is like if you have a lot of products that you sell, let's say you're selling dresses, right, but you know which dress looks really nice in the summer, right? You could have a collection of like best selling summer dresses for summer 2026, right? And just add the products manually, and this will allow Google just a little bit much more context, and you'll be able to like rank a little bit higher because you actually took the time to add a collection, right, of best summer dresses, right? You want to add blog posts, right? You can add blog posts inside of your Shopify store, right? If you go to content and then go to blog post, right, you'll be able to create a blog post. And so blog posts are great because you'll be able to answer commonly. You could create content of questions that people might have, right? So maybe you go on Reddit, go on Google again, right? Or you're on TikTok or YouTube, right? And you see somebody has a question about like, best summer dresses to wear, right? What to look for in summer dresses, right? In 2026, right? You can write an article on that, right? If you're selling dresses, you could be like, this is what you should look for when you're buying your summer dress, right, for 2026, right? And then like list out in point form, right? Add pictures as well and as much detail as possible, and also include image alt text in your Shopify store. So what is image alt text? This pretty much tells, because Google or any computer, right, does not really know what it's looking at, right? And so what you could do with alt text, right, if you go to your products, click your product here, right? I haven't done it, I'm guilty of that. You could do this, right, where pretty much Shopify will suggest what you can enter, right? And you're happy with it, you can just click the check mark and it will add it, right? So it's a silver watch on a wooden surface with a pen and paper in the background, right? And if you're happy with that, just click save, right? And it's simple. This will again just tell Google or any search engine what it's looking for, like what it is looking at, sorry, right? And so yeah, very important. So the next thing you'll want to do, of course, is what was this here? The next thing you'll want to do, of course, is small easy SEO wins, right? So how does this look like? You can answer common customer questions, right? Write helpful blog content, use keywords customers are searching for, optimize every product page, right? So here are some examples of blog posts, right? Like best gifts for dog lovers, right? How to choose the right running shoes, right? Beginner's guide to camping gear, right? So these are all just common questions that people might have, and if you write this content, right, and add your products to those blog posts, right, you'll be able to rank a little bit higher, right? And Google will provide the right information to their customer, because Google at the end wants to provide the best and right information to their customer when they're searching. You can also use like a tool like Tiny Image SEO, right? This will help you optimize your SEO as well, right? You could click on SEO, right? You could download the app right from the Shopify App Store. I'll have the link for these apps that I talk about in the description below, so you guys go check them out, right? So you could be like, if you need to optimize your SEO page, right? Or maybe you want to do a better AI product description, right? AI keyword suggestions, right? What type of keywords you might want to target as well, right? You might want to audit your site, right, as well, right? And so that's why you might want to check out this app, Tiny Image Features, right? Again, I'll have the link for these apps in the description below, so you guys go check them out. So number 3, we have, of course, paid advertising, right? So if you have extra cash, right, you could do like $5 a day, $10 a day, right, where you're generating traffic to get traffic immediately to your Shopify store, right? So you might want to focus on Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads, Google Shopping ads, right? Again, beginner, you might want to start a small daily budget, $5 a day, right? And maybe only focus on Facebook ads. That's it, right? There's like 1 billion people who go on Facebook every day, right? So you might want to just target Facebook ads, right? Test multiple creatives, right? You'll have to create a ton of videos or a ton of images of your product, because Facebook's algorithm is really, really good when it comes to ads. And so if you're not showing new ones, if you're not uploading new ads creative to your Facebook ad campaign, Facebook's just going to show the same ad to the same customer. And if it didn't work, you're just spending money for no reason, right? But if you're uploading new creative, right, ads to your Facebook account, right, for the ads, Facebook's going to try every ad you're uploading, right? And it's just going to target those ads to the people, right? So like it might show the same like to the same person, but it might be a different ad, and that ad might work for that person, and they'll click on it and check your store out. And if your store set up properly, they'll check out, right? And so for this tool, you'll want to use like a tool like Shopify, right? You'll be able to see. So what I like about this tool is that you'll be able to see ad campaigns of your competition, right, of other Shopify stores, right? And so that's why I'm recommending this one. Again, I'll have the link for this in the description below, so you guys go check it out. Number 4, email marketing, right? So if you're spending money on ads or your own time by creating organic content, right, most visitors probably won't buy the very first time when they visit your Shopify store, right? And so email marketing is where it will help you bring them back to your store, right? So let's say somebody opts into like when they land on your website on your Shopify store, right, you have a pop-up where it's like, hey, well, welcome to my store, right? Here's 10% off for your first order, right? They'll have to enter your email, their email, and then you'll send them a 10% discount, or right there it'll like flip the pop-up and be like, here's 10%, here's the code, right, to use in your first purchase, right? So that's one way you'll start collecting emails, right? And so once you do that, you'll be able to send those customers emails on your product, right? So like, every week you'll be sending like an email, be like, hey, like check out how this cream helped this new customer who just bought it, right? But also what's very powerful about email marketing are the email marketing automations, right? So like the abandoned cart emails. So if somebody checks out, right, adds your cream to cart, they go to the checkout, they enter their email and everything, right? But then they don't do the final thing of checking out, right, fully. So with abandoned cart emails, right, you'll be able to send that customer like 5 minutes later an email being like, hey, you forgot to check out, here, check out right here, entering the code that I gave you, right? Let's say if you have a discount, right? And so again, this is just great to nurture your customers on your product, right? So like you could update them on new product launches, promotions, educational content, right? Be like, how to get the most out of your facial cream, right? Or how to apply it perfectly. Or it could be reviews, right, of your customers, right, where you're sharing reviews of how your face cream has helped a customer, right, with their skin interface, right? And so why email matters is because you own your email list, right? No algorithm changes it, and high ROI compared to other channels, right? For this tool, I'll have the link for this in the description below. It's called OmniSend, right? So OmniSend is an email marketing tool you could download for free on Shopify App Store. I'll have the link for that in the description below, right? You could do, there's a lot of things that you could do when it comes to your email marketing. And so some of them, of course, again, is automations. You can have campaigns, right, as well. And there's templates already that OmniSend has for you. So you could just like click, add the template, just make some changes to fit your brand, your colors and everything, and you'll be good to go, right? So again, I'll have the link for this in the description below, so you guys go check it out. And the last one is customer reviews, right? It's probably one of the best ways to start generating traffic to your Shopify store, right? So partner with customers who bought you from you, right? If you know customers are really liking your product, right, then you should create content and emails on that, on those reviews, right? So send them free products, be like, hey, here's a free product, but like in return, can you make like a review video of you using it, right? Or write a 5-star review for my Shopify store, right? Because that's like one of the best type of content that you can have, right? Is when customers really like your product, right, and they can't get enough of it. That's gonna just do wonders for your store, right? And for this tool, for the tool that I recommend here, you want to check out this review app called Looks, right? I'll have the link for this in the description below, so you guys can go download it in the Shopify store, right? And you'll be able to add reviews to your Shopify store, right? So like you could be able to send emails with like OmniSend, right? And then you'll be able to connect this tool so that people can send you photos and videos of their product, of them liking, like talking about how much they love your product, right? And so again, it's just a big win. And so those are 5 ways that you can start to generate traffic to your Shopify store, right? And so how I would start, right, is week 1, set up email marketing, create your social media accounts, right? Week 2, publish, if you can, 10 to 15, or even if you only publish one a week, start with 1 a week, right? Optimize your product pages using tiny image, right? This tool here, and then reach out to micro influencers or reach out to your customers, right? If you already have customers, reach out to them. Be like, hey, I want to give you like 15% off for the next order if you could send me a video review of you like reviewing my product, right? If you have generate income, start doing paid ad campaigns. One of the fastest ways to generate more sales, right? But again, you want to focus on mastering one traffic before you moving on to the next, right? And again, consistency beats trying everything at once. So if you only choose TikTok, focus on TikTok only. Instagram, if you focus on Instagram and TikTok, focus on those 2 only. And then once you have that set up, focus on SEO, paid traffic slowly, right? And so if you guys have any questions, comment down below and I'll be happy to help.